And as mentioned, Jason Maurer is our guest, the financial aid coordinator. Jason, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Good to be back.
Yeah, nice to have you back here again. And with you, we talk financial aid. You are the coordinator, and so everybody thinks right away about FAFSA, but we also want to talk about scholarships because, hey, that's a great way to get some money toward your education that you don't have to pay back anytime, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We always try to emphasize to students, make sure that we're looking for resources that we don't have to repay. And one of the most important parts of that is awareness, making sure that students are aware of what opportunities exist.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell students, make sure that we're looking both externally as well as internally. And when I refer to internally, I'm referring to the campus, the college itself. So just to kind of go over some opportunities that exist within the Tusc campus, we really have two different types of sources for funding when it comes to scholarships. We have our institution, which as newly admitted students applying for the next academic year, we are still awarding our merit-based scholarships. So every student that is still currently admitted for next year, we're evaluating to see if they qualify for those merit-based awards. So it does put an emphasis on making sure that we get through that admissions process.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to miss out on those opportunities. But we also have our Tuscarawas County University Foundation, which does a tremendous job of coordinating and facilitating scholarship dollars from local donors, local businesses. Now, there are some deadlines that are attached to those scholarships, so it does depend on the type of student that you are. New freshmen, we actually just wrapped up a deadline of February 1st for newly admitted freshmen, so we just awarded those scholarships, but we do have a deadline that's coming up on May 1st for our returning students. So any existing students that are looking to attend at the Tusc campus next year, there is a pool designed for those students and scholarship dollars for those specific donors as well. So very important to make sure that we're aware and that we reach out. We want to make sure that students are leaning on us to ask what opportunities exist, but you also want to do your due diligence and looking externally. So very important to, if you're a new freshman, contact or coordinate with your high school guidance counselor. They usually have a pulse on what opportunities exist at the high school. But you still want to then look locally as well. Look at your local businesses, faith-based organizations. It really needs to be a no stone sort of left unturned when we're searching for scholarship dollars.
Right. We'll see a student every once in a while in a high school who, like you said, just goes everywhere. And they come up with so many scholarships that most people aren't even aware exist. And there's that money, and it's just as good as everybody else's money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, in this type of a situation, Google can almost be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely want to take advantage of external websites as well. Now, I try to steer students, families away from, when someone's asking you to pay to help search. When I hear pay for it, then I, think of it or feel like it could be a scam.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many free resources that are out there that we want to take advantage of. Even when you're, going to fill out your FAFSA, studentaid.gov, they have free resources for scholarships. And if students are looking for other, websites or other opportunities, I encourage them to reach out to me. I have a list of external websites that I'm confident that there are opportunities there. There's just a lot of information. So, you just want to take it, sort of one step at a time. But you want to put the time and the energy into it to be able to, hopefully get, a hold of resources, again, that are free, that don't have to be repaid.
Right. This is Jason Maurer, financial aid coordinator at Kent State Tuscarawas. So you mentioned FAFSA, which is the financial aid, of course. Is it too late to apply for that for the upcoming school year, which begins in the late summer, I guess, or fall?
Sure, absolutely not. There is no better time than the present if you haven't filed the FAFSA. There's always a big push from the colleges and universities and the high schools to get it done in the fall, but that doesn't mean if we haven't that we're going to miss out necessarily. So we want to make sure, though, that we emphasize if we haven't completed that application, we want to get that squared away. And if you need guidance, if you need help, if you've never done it before, we are here to assist. We can absolutely help walk you through it. We've been doing virtual appointments, since the pandemic started. It's been extremely effective. So what we do encourage students that if you need some guidance, you haven't done that yet, don't keep delaying it because of the stress or the anxiety that surrounds,
Yeah.
it can get a little overwhelming. Please reach out to us so we can offer some assistance.
And you and I talked before we went on the air. If you haven't done this before, it seems overwhelming. And even if you haven't done it for 2 or 3 years, you might want to ask for a little bit of help because of the changes that do occur on a yearly basis, right?
Absolutely. And we find that students or families that have never done it before look at this application. It's multiple pages, multiple sections, and they do get a little bit overwhelmed. But the reality is if you walk through this with someone that has done it, you can see that it doesn't have to be so complicated and difficult. And to be honest with you, once you go through it once with us, as you mentioned, it still may be helpful to do it again at another time or another academic year. But the reality is, once you get a feel for what items or what sections really apply to you, makes it easier the next time around.
Yeah, not so overwhelming. So earlier you promised that we would be able to get in contact with you regarding scholarships or FAFSA information. What ways can we do that? Website, phone number, email?
Sure.
What's the best way?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, you can call me directly, 330-308-7486.
Say that again. It broke up a little bit. Say that number again.
Sure, 330-308-7486. Or you can always email me at jmaure13@kent.edu.
All right. Well, that seems clear enough. If the forms aren't clear, Jason can make it clear for you.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for joining us this morning. It's always a concern with the financial part of getting a better education, and Kent State Tuscarawas certainly knows how to simplify that and put us at ease a little bit. So we do appreciate it.
Not a problem. We appreciate you having us on.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Have a good day.
You take care.
You too. Thanks. That is Jason Maurer. He is the financial aid coordinator from Kent State Tuscarawas. Here this morning on Tusc Talks, the 8:30 High Beam on the B Team Morning Show.